Welcome to the beautiful Marblehead Lighthouse on Lake Erie. Before we take a tour inside, let's have Bob give us a little of the history.
My name's Bob Kaler. I'm from Marblehead Lighthouse Historical Society. And this is the Marblehead Lighthouse. It's 204 years old, and it's the oldest continuously lit lighthouse on all the Great Lakes. And it's built from the finest limestone you can get in Ohio. You're standing on it. This used to be called Rocky Point. And when they wanted to build a lighthouse somewhere between Ashtabula and Toledo, the president at that time was James Monroe. He was the fifth president, for those of you taking notes. They picked this because of the limestone was easy to get to. We're standing on it. We're on an outcropping right now. And right around the corner was a little town called Portsmouth, which is the safest harbor on all of the south portion of Lake Erie, now called Sandusky. So they put this light here in 2021. Excuse me. Let's make that 1821. 1821. It was laid up by a gentleman named William Kelly, who built a lot of masonry structures all through Sandusky and are still standing today. He, with his 13-year-old son and 3 other men, quarried the stone, brought it over, laid it up, 5 foot thick here, 55 foot high, 100 tons of stone. They did it in 11 weeks. You can't get a building permit that quick now. So he took it up that high, and up there they put 13 parabolic lenses, gold lenses that pointed like 270 degrees through here. That was the only light up here, because in 1821, there was nobody up here. You really wanted to be here. If you came here over the big bridge today or came from Oak Harbor, look how long it took you. Now do that on a horse and carriage. There was no one up here. The only people that were up here were French trappers and Indians. So when they built this light, the only light you could see from out there was here, continuously lit. There were so few people up here in that time. This was just wilderness. This was your highway, Lake Erie. The unfortunate part was Lake Erie was owned pretty much by the British, and they didn't like us because of a thing called pressment. They would press our sailors into the British Navy. So the War of 1812 came. It finished over about 1813, about 12 miles away, when Commodore Perry defeated the British Navy, and we took over half this lake. So Canada's about 10 miles that direction. They didn't like us that much, so all the freight had to go between this area. Very rugged. These were high-mast sailing ships. So they had to know where they were. And they always stayed close to the coast. They didn't go out far. They wanted to be able to stay and see where they were during the day. So they always came close to the shore. They had, at about the same time, they opened up the Erie Canal. That gave ships and freight from the ocean to New York all the way to get past here to go into all of the Great Lakes. That's why this was here. The first lights were fueled by whale oil, and they had to take whale oil, about 80 pounds of whale oil every night up the top, maybe 2 or 3 times. That's a lot. Keep in mind, these are wooden steps back then. Later on, they said whale oil is too expensive, and they made a French invention called a Fresnel lens. That was about 1858. It was about that big and was just faceted, and one candlelight would do what 13 did. Then they powered it with lard, of all things, and later kerosene. We started to be friends with Canada again. The ship started getting bigger. We go out farther. So this had to go up another 15 feet, and they put a 3.4 order Fresnel lens in, which is sitting in the gift shop right now, or the museum. This thing was so heavy, they didn't believe this conical shape would hold it. So they had to build a second lighthouse inside. It's brick. So you see stone on the outside. Second lighthouse went up, put brick up. See the little line at the little white edge? From there on, that's all brick. So you'll be going up a brick stairway that's 125 years old. The metal steps are really fancy for a lighthouse. You would think it just put steps in. Take a look at them. They're really beautiful. There's 77 steps. Take your time, and when you get up the top, there's a gentleman who's about 6'10". He's huge. As you go up, keep your 6'5", excuse me. And if you're tall, watch, you're going to hit your head. Don't throw anything off. Hold on to things. It's a little windy up there today. Glasses can fly off, hats can fly off. Just be careful. There's a handrail. You have about 20 minutes. Take your time. If you get tired, just pull off the side and somebody will walk around.
As we go back into this area of the lighthouse, you can clearly see on the back wall on the right hand side the white limestone of the original lighthouse. On the left, you can clearly see the brick lighthouse that was built inside of the limestone structure. You can actually see all the way to the top between the two structures, which is very cool. Let's go back out and continue our journey up the 77 steps. It was a fairly easy walk going up. You have a handrail to hold on to, but looking up, it's just beautiful. The spiral staircase, you can look straight up through all the way to the top. Every so often, there's these cubby holes with windows that you can stop and look outside. But that staircase is just beautiful. Here we're taking a look outside. We're up about one level. And let's continue on the rest of the way up. Here's another window up a little bit higher. You can take a look out. Beautiful view out looking over Lake Erie. Coming up on your left-hand side, you will see some built-in cabinets. Those cabinets are not just there for decoration. They served a practical operational purpose for the lighthouse keepers. They used this area for storage of supplies. Keepers needed quick access to items like cleaning materials, polishing cloths, extra lamp parts, and tools used to maintain the light and lenses. This area right over here is where the Coast Guard Life Saving Station is at, and also the white house you see in the center is the home of the museum and the gift shop. Before electrification, the lighthouse used oil lamps like whale oil, lard oil, or later kerosene. Small amounts of fuel or related equipment could be stored in the secure cabinet spaces along the climb, though bulk fuel was usually stored elsewhere for safety. Things like wick trimmers, spare chimneys, and lens cleaning tools were essential and often kept in these built-in compartments so the keeper didn't have to go all the way up and down repeatedly. Now, to gain access to the observation deck, we need to maneuver through that small hatch. Standing at the top of the Marblehead Lighthouse, you're inside the lantern room, the heart of the lighthouse. This is where the powerful beacon shines across Lake Erie, guiding ships safely past the rocky shoreline. In the 1800s, keepers maintained a massive Fresnel lens here, carefully cleaning it and winding a clockwork system to keep the light rotating. Today, a modern LED light flashes green every 6 seconds, visible for miles. From this height, you get a full 360-degree view of the lake and surrounding islands. But for generations, this wasn't just a view. It was a lifeline for sailors navigating these waters. Like right there, you're standing here, it says Port Clinton 12 miles. So it would be 12 miles that way to Port Clinton. Here's the view. The Marblehead Lighthouse, we're at the very top. The waves are crashing up on the shore. Beautiful view from up here. If you've never experienced this, go on their Facebook page, their website, and you can access their schedule to see when they have the lighthouse open. It's open various different times throughout the summer. Just a $5 a person, I believe $5 a person or $5 to come up. And it's a beautiful view. So like right here, this placard says Sandusky, Ohio is 5.2 miles that way. You're 3.3 miles from Cedar Point. Cleveland, Ohio, that direction, you're 52 miles. Erie, Pennsylvania, 143 miles. 216 miles to Buffalo, New York. Closest point to Canadian mainland, which is Point Pelee National Park, 28 miles. Kelly's Island, 3.5 miles. North Bass Island is 13 miles. Middle Bass is 11. 9.6 miles to Put-in Bay. Beautiful view from up here. Come up here in a clear day, you can see a long ways. You just barely see Kelly's Island straight ahead out there. Pretty hazy today. Again, beautiful view from up here. Okay, so now we're going to head back down. Right there is where we're going through this hatch. See, they got a hatch here that they can close. So we're going to go back down through here. Gotta watch your head. There we go. Easier going back down than it is going up, but it's not bad. It's not a bad climb up. You got a railing to hold on to. Definitely a beautiful lighthouse. A lot of work's gone into preserving this lighthouse and keeping it in good condition. A lot of the people work here are all volunteers. The Marblehead Lighthouse Historical Society helps preserve the rich history of this iconic lighthouse in the Marblehead community. Through museums, artifacts, and tours, they keep the stories of Lake Erie and its keepers alive for future generations. That's a wrap from inside the Marblehead Lighthouse, one of the oldest working lighthouses on the Great Lakes. If you enjoyed the tour, make sure to subscribe, like, and share on YouTube so you don't miss more awesome local history and views.